Did you know a snail can sleep for 3 years straight? Now isn't that the longest nap ever? But that's not all. There are so many fascinating things about our animal friends that will blow your mind. For instance, did you know that an octopus has 3 hearts and blue blood? Or that the tongue of a blue whale is so large that 50 people could stand on it? Or how about this one? A hummingbird weighs less than a penny, yet it can fly non-stop for over 18 hours. Isn't that incredible? And let's not forget about our friend the kangaroo. They can't walk backwards. And here's a fun fact about the star-nosed mole. It can eat worms faster than the human eye can follow. These are just a few of the cool things we're going to learn about today. Ready to dive into the world of animals? Hold on to your seats because it's going to be a wild ride. Ever wondered why you, your pet dog, and a giant elephant are all considered mammals? Well, let's take a fun journey to explore the world of mammals and uncover why they are so unique. Mammals are a group of fascinating creatures that share some pretty cool characteristics. To start with, all mammals are warm-blooded. This means they can regulate their body temperature, keeping warm when it's cold and cooling down when it's hot. So, whether it's a chilly winter day or a scorching summer afternoon, mammals can handle it all. Next up, have you ever noticed how you, your pet cat, or a deer in the woods all have hair or fur? That's another distinct trait of mammals. This hair or fur serves as a perfect coat, offering protection from the weather and sometimes even acting as a camouflage. But here's where it gets really interesting. Unlike most other animals, mammals give birth to live young. That's right. Instead of laying eggs like birds or reptiles, mammals bring their tiny ones into the world, ready to explore. And once these little ones arrive, how do they get their nutrition? Here's another amazing fact. Mammals are the only creatures on Earth that feed milk to their young. This milk is rich in nutrients and helps the newborns grow and develop quickly. Now let's talk about some unique mammals you might not know about. Did you know that bats are the only mammals that can truly fly? And they do so at night using echolocation to navigate. Talk about having superpowers. And then there's the platypus, a mammal that breaks all the rules. It's one of the few mammals that lays eggs, and it has a bill like a duck, a tail like a beaver, and webbed feet like an otter. Aren't mammals just full of surprises? So next time you see a furry friend, remember you both belong to the mammal family. Imagine soaring high in the sky, wouldn't that be fun? Well, that's a day in the life of a bird. Today let's take a closer look at these incredible creatures. Birds, they're everywhere. From our backyards to the towering mountains, from the dense forests to the vast open oceans. What makes them so special? Well, let's start with their most distinctive feature: feathers. Every bird, whether it's a tiny sparrow or a giant ostrich, is covered in feathers. These help them to fly, keep them warm, and sometimes they're just for show. Then there's the beak. No teeth for these guys, they've got beaks. Beaks are super versatile. They're used for eating, fighting, preening, and even attracting a mate. The shape and size of a bird's beak can tell us a lot about what it eats and how it lives. Here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that birds are the only animals that lay hard-shelled eggs? They might not win any prizes for parenting though, as most birds leave their young to fend for themselves once they're old enough. But not all birds are the same. Some are speed demons like the peregrine falcon. This bird is the fastest in the world, reaching speeds of up to 200 miles an hour during its hunting stoop. Imagine being that fast. Then there's the bee hummingbird, the smallest bird in the world. This tiny avian wonder is only 2.5 inches long and weighs less than a dime. But don't let its size fool you. It's a tough little creature and can beat its wings up to 80 times a second. And who can forget the majestic eagle, with its powerful wings and sharp eyes, ruling the skies with grace and might? Birds truly are fascinating, aren't they? From the tiny hummingbird to the majestic eagle, each one is unique. So the next time you see a bird soaring high above, remember, there's more to these feathered friends than meets the eye. Ever seen a creature that can live both on land and in water? That's an amphibian for you. Now let's dive into a world that is as diverse as it is fascinating, a world of reptiles and amphibians. These two groups of animals may seem similar, but they have distinctive characteristics that set them apart. Reptiles are an intriguing bunch. They are cold-blooded, meaning their body temperature changes with the environment. Imagine if you had to wear a sweater every time it was cold and take it off when it got hot, just to regulate your body temperature. Reptiles don't need to do that, their bodies adjust automatically. They possess scales that cover their bodies, quite a trendy armor, don't you think? And here's a fun fact. The largest reptile in the world is the saltwater crocodile, which can grow up to 23 feet long. That's almost as long as a school bus. On the other hand, we have the amphibians. These are semi-aquatic creatures, comfortable both on land and in water. They lay their eggs in water and their young ones undergo a process called metamorphosis. This is a fancy term for a complete transformation. Imagine starting life as a tiny, legless tadpole and growing up to become a jumping, croaking frog. Speaking of frogs, did you know that the Goliath frog is the largest frog in the world? It can grow up to a foot in length. That's longer than your school ruler. But it's not just about size. Some of these creatures have super cool abilities. Like the chameleon, a type of reptile that can change its color to blend in with its surroundings. Or the newt, an amphibian that can regenerate its lost body parts. Yes, you heard it right. They can grow back their legs, heart, spinal cord, and more. So whether it's a slithering snake or a jumping frog, they all have their own special traits. Do you know which animal group makes up the largest portion of the animal kingdom? It's the invertebrates. Dive with me now into the fascinating world of fish and invertebrates. Let's start with fish. Fish are a group of aquatic animals that are cold-blooded. This means their body temperature changes with the temperature of the water around them. They live in water, from the tiniest ponds to the deepest, darkest depths of the ocean. And how do they breathe, you ask? They have special organs called gills which extract oxygen from the water. Pretty cool, huh? Now here's a fun fact about fish. The sailfish, a type of billfish, is considered the fastest swimmer in the ocean, reaching speeds of up to 68 miles per hour. That's faster than a cheetah can run. Moving on to invertebrates, these creatures are unique because they lack a backbone. Yes, you heard it right, no backbone. Instead, many have a hard outer shell or exoskeleton that protects their body. Invertebrates include animals like spiders, snails, and crabs, and they make up a whopping 97% of all animal species on Earth. Here's a fun fact about invertebrates. Did you know that the world's largest invertebrate is the giant squid? It can grow up to 43 feet long, that's longer than a school bus. But not all invertebrates are that big. Take for instance, the fairy fly. It's a type of wasp, and is one of the smallest insects in the world, measuring less than 1 millimeter in length. That's smaller than a pinhead. So, whether it's the dazzling variety of fish darting through our oceans, or the remarkable world of invertebrates, from the tiniest fairy fly to the giant squid, there's always something to marvel at in the animal kingdom. So, from a colorful clownfish to a crawling crab, the underwater world and the invertebrate kingdom is full of surprises. Wow, we've met so many interesting animals today, haven't we? We started our journey discovering some fun animal facts. We then dove into the world of mammals, those warm-blooded creatures with hair or fur like kangaroos and dolphins. Next we flew with the birds, marveling at their ability to take to the skies. Then we slithered our way to the reptiles and hopped along with the amphibians, learning about their unique cold-blooded nature and the fascinating transformations they undergo. We ended our journey underwater, swimming with the fish and exploring the vast variety of invertebrates, creatures without backbones like jellyfish and spiders. Now it's quiz time. What's the biggest mammal? Can you name a bird that can't fly? What's unique about amphibians, and can you think of an invertebrate that lives on land? Remember, every animal, big or small, plays a crucial role in our ecosystem. So, let's respect and protect them. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.